What's up, Facebook? We in this thing. I am on Facebook and I am on TikTok. And tonight we are talking about Respectfully Kennedy by Antoinette Sherrill. She is one of my favorite authors. Okay. Antoinette Sherrill. She has written one of my very favorite books, A Hood Love Bred from the Block. If you have not read about Jody and what's that girl name? Be my what do he be saying to the girl? Be my peace. Be my, oh Lord, I'm just reasons. Be my reason. Jody and Reasons. So let me get you up in this count. I told everybody that we was here. So who has read it or who has started it and who is still reading or you're waiting for the next book? I ain't gonna say the last one because I thought that this was gonna be the last book. But who's read, who's waiting, who's still reading? That's what it is. Let me know if you've read the book and finished it, which if you started it on Friday or maybe even on Saturday, you should be done by now. So you read it, you waiting, or you still reading? Let me know that. Let me know that in the comments. Welcome to Tuesday Night's Podcast. I talked all that stuff last week about how I'm just gonna let it flow, and then they just started dropping banger after banger because I'm like halfway through the 19th hole by Evelyn Latrice. I love her down too. And we probably gonna talk about that next week once I finish it. So yes, but I'm still taking it slow. So for anyone who doesn't know, I made an announcement last week that I am not forcing the podcast anymore. And let me give y'all a little bit of background on that since while I'm waiting on everybody to get on. But when I started the Black Girl Book Club podcast, I had read hundreds of books probably by that time, and there were so many books that I was reading that I was like, oh my god, I need to talk about it, I need to talk about it, I need to talk about it or whatever. But I had already read so many books, right? So I had like an arsenal of books that I wanted to talk about, right? And so over the last 4 years, we've talked about all of the books that I was like itching to talk about, right? And now it just kind of feels like I'm pulling at straws, and like this podcast only works if I'm talking about something that I'm passionate about. I've talked about books that weren't my favorite, but they had some component in it that I wanted to talk about. Like it was some kind of conversation starter, whether it was drama, funny, serious, life focused, whatever the case may be. And so I don't want to change it to where it's like I'm just talking about books just to be talking about them, or talking about books that I'm not passionate about, because it's not as fun for me. It's just like going through the flow. Not that I've talked about many books that I wasn't passionate about, but when I do, it kind of don't feel right. It doesn't feel authentic. So all of that to say, when I read a book and I'm like, oh, we got to talk about this is a banger, or oh, this has some good conversation pieces in it, then I will schedule a podcast. You know, I will let you guys know we're gonna be talking about this. I just read this real good book, you know, all of that kind of stuff, and then we'll get into it that way. So what that means is I may not read a book every week that is like a banger and I want to talk about it, or it's a good conversation piece. So we may not have a podcast that week, but then, you know, we may have a couple in a row, or I might be on 3 weeks in a row because we talked about 3 bangers, you know. So I'm just going to play it by ear, and I'm not going to force it, but I'm not going anywhere. This is still the Black Girl Book Club podcast. I will be here most Tuesday nights. Let's say that. So with all of that being said, we have a lot to talk about tonight. Tonight we are talking about Antoinette Sherrill's new book, Respectfully Kennedy, that dropped on Friday. I was so excited about this. How many of you, I've said this already, but I'm going to check in again. How many of you have read it and finished it? You're waiting because it did end on a cliffhanger, or you're still reading? Celeste said that this needs to be a a spoiler podcast. She like, you need to just get it all out. We just need to talk about everything, okay? Not be my whore. Jennifer be in these comments acting a whole mess. But yes, so yes, we're gonna get into that tonight. But before we do, hi, I'm Shaquana, and I am your host of the Black Girl Book Club podcast. The Black Girl Book Club podcast. The Black Girl Book Club podcast. Hey! Okay, y'all, so let's get into this. So, just to recap, it's a lot to kind of recap because there's so many books before this that Relic was in. But just really quickly, Relic started off being like super villain, like rape and murder and like everything. Like he was not on the right side of the book world, right? So that's how he started off. He started off in Shabu and Savvy's series as Shabu's brother, right? And he was just like the worst person in the world that you could think of. We didn't like him, okay? Most of us didn't. I don't know how you could in those books, but I've heard that some people did. So he started off as this super villain nobody liked, fine blue-eyed devil. Oh, that just came to me. Blue-eyed devil. Okay, I see what you did there. Rhonda still reading. Okay, girl, you a trooper. So he started off in that light, okay? I don't know what made her, and we may talk about it. She may be on the show after she dropped that last book or the next one. But what made her choose him? Because I thought that Titan, the youngest brother, and Michi would get their own book next. But what made her choose Relic to get his own book, which I'm glad she did. But so he started off as a super villain, then he got his own series, him and Kennedy, and he and Kennedy's story is, again, Relic is the super villain. His brother had some drama go on with a girl, Shabu had some drama go on with a girl that he was dealing with, and Relic, the person who handles everything in the family, he's the oldest brother, he handled it. And how he handled it was setting the girl's beauty shop on fire. Well, when he set the girl's beauty shop on fire, if you haven't read this, you got to go back to Savvy and Shabu's series. And when he set the girl's shop on fire, Kennedy was in the shop as a hairstylist. Kennedy was in the shop as a hairstylist and got burned up. Now, they don't know each other at this point. He don't know her. She don't know him. So she got burned up on, I guess, is that the right side of her face? Her face and arm. So she's like marred. She's messed up, okay? I can't believe she ended the book like that. I'm about to take my Nissan and crash it into her living room. Wait a minute, Shakira. So that's their introduction kind of to each other. They don't know it yet, but that's their background, okay? And so in Disrespectfully Relic, that's, well, actually they meet in Treasure and Perry, what's his name? Perrier story. They meet in there. That's where they actually like start dealing with each other, talking to each other. In that book, Relic finds out he has a son. In that book, him and Kennedy cross paths because she becomes friends with Savvy and the girls and all that kind of stuff, right? So Treasure's book put a lot, it was like a good segue to bring both series together. A lot of people were saying they didn't need her story, but now that I'm talking about it and you think about it, it was a good intermission to get to Relic and Kennedy's story from Shabu's. And okay, anyway, so they started a relationship, kind of communicating in Treasure's book. Okay, so then in Relic's book is when they start. Oh, you like my hair? Thank you. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for noticing that. I love it too. Y'all gonna be seeing me like this a lot. It's very freeing. But anyway, so in Relic's book, that's when they start messing around. So he gets the idea that he wants to hire first of all, he know he burnt up this girl's face. So when they kind of start interacting in Treasure's book, and he knew that he had did something wrong. Thank you, Celeste. I love y'all so much. He started sending Kennedy money because he was like, damn, she got caught in a crossfire. She didn't have nothing to do with nothing, and she got burned up, right? And so he started sending her checks because she was kind of down and out. She really didn't have no money. She was taking care of her nephew, her brother who had passed away, son, all this and that, right? So he started sending her checks anonymously, okay? Anonymously, he started sending her money, okay? Thank you, Celeste. He started sending her money anonymously or whatever, right? And so she don't know, but she just started getting these checks in the mail all of a sudden, okay? Another way that they're connected is through his son. So his son has developed a relationship with Kennedy. Ja. How did y'all feel about Ja in this book? He talked too goddamn much. He was talking too much, y'all. He was talking too much. So in Relic's book, that's when they kind of start messing around, because he's like, he wants to keep her close, but he knows that keeping her close is going to cost him. Not if, but when it's going to cost him. So the best way that he's able to do that is to hire her as his right hand man, basically, right? She helps him and take hand on his label. Right. So he hires her to run the salon, because she's a hairdresser. So he gives her a salon to run. It's actually his, he owns it, but it's her, she's the salon manager. And then she started helping him with like his other businesses and stuff like that, because he feels like he can trust her. He feels like she gets him and all this and that. So his Tech Hand connected them through the restaurant too. They had a lot of connections. But yeah, so now they in each other's world. So in Relic's book, he hires her as his queen, his Larenn. And yes, girl. Anyway, so that's what he does in his book. And they have of course they have bomb ass sex in his book. They go back and forth. She's a spitfire. She got an attitude. She don't play no shit. She don't take no shit. That's why they call her Big Dog Kennedy. Okay, that's why they call her Big Dog. So in the first book, you know, they working together. Ooh, my first question to y'all is, outside of who read, who's finished, and who's still reading, is, can there be love with no trust? Can there be love with no trust? Okay, so like I said, in his book is where their relationships begins and it blossoms. But in his book, they don't trust each other. They don't trust each other, and they're both you know, just like, when she gonna get me? When he gonna get me? You know, when is he gonna pull the wool over my eyes? When is she gonna pull the wool? You know what I'm saying? It's like they both going back, not true love. You can't have, my mama saying, hey mama, you can't have true love without trust. How y'all feel about that? So they got like this tug of war, but they're really into each other. And that's how you can think that it's love, right? And that's what happened like in real life too. We be thinking it be love, but really, I don't know what it be. Lust? Yes, I believe she loves him but hates him for playing around. Shakira said, yes, do you think he loved her? Celeste says they're in love. So from reading, because mama might not have read it yet, from reading, y'all saying they're in love. Or do they just have this strong bond? Okay, this I get her, he gets me, you know, type of thing going on, right? So his book, they get together, they messing around, but they don't trust each other. They both figuring out when the shoe gonna drop. So at the end of his book, the shoe drops on her, right? So they going through this back and forth. She can't trust him. They both like, think Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Think Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Okay, if it isn't love, why does it feel this way? Okay, Jennifer, come on, bring it, girl. Come on. Okay, so in his book, at the end of his book, Kennedy is about to get robbed, killed, something. Okay, somebody has broken into her home, and she in the closet with a gun, but we don't know who it is. In her head, she's thinking it's him. Like, okay, I knew I couldn't trust his ass. Now he finna get me because I done fell in love with his ass, right? So she like in her closet with her gun. That's how the book ends. So with that being said, how many of you have read Relic's book, and who thought that it was Relic coming for her? I never did. I thought it was that goddamn Lomar. No, actually I didn't think it was Lomar. I thought Lomar was the cops. When he went to that store with her and watched her spend all that money, this how I know my man messed up in the book world, because I'm thinking everybody is rich, and why the fuck is you seeing me spend this money on this card and you not putting in on it? Like, sir, what? You can move around, you can go on somewhere, because I just spent $20,000 and you didn't put $1 on it. Who does that? But yes, I thought Lomar was the police. I thought Sarge was the police. So yes, I thought Lomar was the police. I did not. Oh, you thought it was a loyalty test. Okay. But I didn't think it was Relic. But she thought it was Relic. She was like, oh, okay, now he finna get me. You know, I didn't let my guard down and he finna get me. So in her book, at the beginning, we find out who is actually finna get ready to rob her, kill her, whatever the case may be. And she messed with this dude in Relic book named Lomar. And it was him. He was a jack boy, basically. That's why he didn't have no money when they went shopping, because he was a jack boy. Okay, he was a jack boy. So so first of all, he was a jack boy, and he was Slim best friend. Slim and Relic had beef. I'm not getting off into all that. If you haven't read Relic's book, read Relic's book. So Slim and Relic had beef. Slim tried to kill Relic, but Relic ended up killing Slim. Boom. And so Lomar was Slim's best friend, so he wanted to get revenge on Relic for killing his best friend, and the best way to get revenge was by jacking him. And so he knew that Kennedy had money because she was dealing with him and running his business and stuff like that, so he was gonna get the money through her, right? Did Kennedy talk too much? Did Kennedy talk too much? Was she talking too much to Lomar? Because why did he even know all of that, right? So anyway, so it's Lomar. So at the end of Relic's book, it's like all suspenseful. Oh my God, they finna come in, they finna try to kill me. But Kennedy got her Glock, okay? She plays no games, big boss, okay? So it's Lomar. So Lomar comes in and blows up the spot. Not only is he there to rob her or whatever, he wasn't there to kill her, but not only was he there to rob her, but um he ended up, because she came up the closet dumping on him. Anyway, so she came out the closet dumping on him or whatever. So she ended up shooting him in the leg, and it was a girl with him. And so he put that tracker in her. Yes, girl. So she shot him in the leg. So he's begging her to like not mess, to let him go. And in that, he starts running his mouth. And he was like, you need to be watching that nigga that you been laid up with, because he the one who did you the dirtiest. So he spills the beans on Relic being the one who got her burned up. Oh my God, right? Okay, so let me tell y'all. But why didn't he know she was home? I don't know about that, Celeste. But let me ask y'all, because when I first started reading and he told her that, I thought that she had told Relic, like, I know what you did. And I know everybody else know, right? But then at the end of the book, it was like, that's when she told him that she knew what he did. But I thought she had been told him, because in my mind, when I was hearing all this, because she was like, he know, and the people that I've been around know, like Savvy know, and all them and everything. And so I was a little confused by that. So y'all let me know, was I tripping or did I miss something? Because I'm like, I thought she was gonna wild out when she found out. And so I'm thinking this whole time that she done found out and she done told them that she know, and now she's still being lovey-dovey with Relic. And I'm like, hold on, how you big dog Ken and you let this nigga burn you up and you ain't even did nothing, right? So anyway, so she finds out that it was Relic who burned her up. So it's not him who was robbing her, but it was him who had burned her up. So now she really got a vengeance towards him, but not really, because she was still busting it wide open for him every chance that she got. So now she knows he's the one who messed up her face or whatever. So they go from her face being messed up. Oh, Relic did set her up with Lomar, but it was to sniff him out. He sent Lomar to Kennedy so that he could get to Lomar, because he kind of knew he had somebody watching Kennedy and watching Lomar and all that stuff, whatever. So he was like he knew Lomar was trying to set Kennedy up, and so he had his people go keep an eye on her and all that. So that's what she was mad about. That's what she was mad at him about. Not the fire, but that he set her up and didn't tell her about it, because he was trying to get to Lomar. She kept dropping hints, being passive aggressive. She was waiting on him to confess, I guess, girl. So she was mad at Relic for setting her up. She was like, how do you know that he wasn't gonna come in here and kill me? You knew all along that he was gonna come in here or whatever. And he was like, I had people watching, I wasn't gonna let it get too far. And she was like, no, you didn't know that, right? So that happened. So after she found out that he knew, okay, so she ended up going down to the precinct. They was pressing her on some stuff, some, gangster stuff that, they be into in these books and everything. And so she ain't say nothing. She ain't say nothing about Relic or nothing like that. And so then she ended up going to Savvy's house to kind of like chill out. And then she went to her mama them house, which I don't know where I thought her mama them was at, but I didn't think they was in the picture. But her mama and her daddy them end up being cool. Her mama and her daddy them end up, I didn't think you were here. But then, girl, I was confused. So, she went to her mama and her daddy them house, and that's kind of when shit kind of hit the fan. How are y'all feeling about that relationship at this point? Like when she went to the precinct after she shot Lomar. Okay, Relic them end up killing Lomar, but she said that she killed them because he had broken her house. So that's what they telling the police. That's what they telling the police. He broke in her house. He's gonna try to rob her. She killed him. But really, it was Relic and his people. Whatever, right? So she go down to the precinct. Then she went to Savvy house. Then she went to her mom and them house or whatever. I was like mad at them for some reason at this point, because it was just too much back and forth. It was like they was in love, but they was fighting it, but they was hated each other, but they loved each other. You know, all this and that. I'm like, y'all need to get it together. If for nothing else, for this little boy, because he done been through enough. His mama is dead. His daddy didn't let him stay with his grandmama. He calling his daddy Relic, which he don't really know him. He didn't meet him until he was 10. But y'all need to get it together for the baby, because the baby love both of y'all, right? And so she went to her mom and her daddy house to like just get her mind right. That was a very traumatic experience. She felt like she was losing herself. And then here come Relic outside with the boombox. She wouldn't answer his calls. She wouldn't answer his calls after, you know, the robbery happened and everything. And she went to her parents' house. It started dragging when she went to her parents' house. And he standing outside with the boombox. Girl, okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all need to get it together. So he's standing outside. He like, you coming with me willingly, or I'm finna snatch your ass up and put you in this car. And she like, her daddy is in the streets too. So she like, don't come up in here with no mess, because I don't want y'all to have a shootout up here in my parents' house. So he ended up coming to the parents' house. He talked to the parents, which was a big thing, because it was like, he's meeting her parents. At that point, Relic also just admitted to Kennedy he had Jessica killed. Right? So he comes to her parents' house, and he's never met a girl's parents. Right? He ain't never went to go meet the parents, but he need her to come with him. Did they get into a fight at this moment? Did they get into a fight? Did he have to yoke her up at the mama and daddy house, y'all? It was too much going on. Again, think Mr. and Mrs. They in the mom and the daddy house fighting and fucking. I'm just knowing they about to come back home. It was too much going on in that house. It was too much going on. He was punishing her on the bed, getting it from the back. It was a lot going on in the mom and the daddy house. Too much going on for these grown people to be in his mom and his daddy house up here. He done knocked all the stuff off the table. And the next thing you know, he fucking her from the back. Somebody he was punishing her. I was like, this is too much. This is too much in one book. So after all that, they fighting and fussing. I think she going to show up for him in the next book. We gonna talk about predictions at the end. So they at the mom and the daddy house. They fighting and fussing. So she was like, give me a little bit more time here with my parents. To clear my mind, and then I'm going to come to your house, because she couldn't go back to her house after the robbery or whatever. And he was like, all right, cool, I'll give you a couple more days. So another big moment was on the boat. Oh, this whole book is about Relic finna get ready to get indicted. Okay, listen, if I'm ever gonna get indicted, I'm not gonna get indicted. But if I were to get indicted, I need to have my shit like Relic. Because when I be reading these books and these people be going to jail and they ain't got nothing, can't nobody get them out, they can't get no lawyer, they lose everything, I be like, what the fuck? Y'all didn't have no offshore accounts? Y'all didn't have no money hidden in the back? Relic did it right. He knew he was finna get ready to go to jail, and he made sure his people was together. So, just so y'all know, if I ever commit a crime and I got to get indicted, I'm going to be like Relic. Okay? Or I'm going to have somebody like Relic on my team, because I'm not going out like no punk. Okay? He had it together. And that is what Like, he got on my nerve, thank you baby, with his possessiveness and just like that back and forth. I like you, I don't, I gotta be crazy, da da da. But like when he was doing that type of stuff, like taking them like on the Relic was daddy when he was on the boat and he was like setting everything up for Shabu. Oh my God, y'all. Why did I start crying when he said that Savvy was gonna go to jail? Why did I literally shed a tear when he said that Savvy was gonna go to jail? And Shabu was like, not my motherfucking wife. He went crazy. So then they started fighting. But he took Ja fishing, Ja, Shabu, Titan, and the baby, Navy. Is that his name? What's the new baby name? They all went like on, Relic is daddy. Okay, girl. What do he has? Dissociation disorder, Celeste. He got dissociative disorder or something. I guess he disassociate. But anyway, so he told Shabu he's like cleaning up all his stuff because he know he finna get indicted. So he making, that's another reason why I'm putting that in quotation marks, he got Kennedy as his right hand, because he need her to make sure that everything goes off once he's gone as well, right? Including giving her custody of his son. Okay? And so daddy house, they went on a boat. He in, because nobody else knows that he's getting indicted. So he tells Shabu everything that he got going on. They went fishing as a family outing, the guys, but they also went fishing so that he can show Shabu where his connect drop off the drugs at and everything in the middle of the ocean and seeing stuff. Yeah, I love that type of stuff. I really need to get my life together. So he, wrapping up all his ends and everything. So then when they come back from fishing, Kennedy is at the house, right? This was another like big moment. Okay, y'all. So Kennedy is at the house. If you remember from the beginning of Relic's book, it starts off with him finna get ready to get on drugs. Okay? It starts off with him with some dope and some all kind of stuff. He about to get ready to get on drugs, right? So that's at the beginning of his book. So he has a lot of regret, like, a lot of things that he's done, especially getting Jessica killed. That's his son's mother and all of that stuff or whatever. So he like, let me just put myself out of my misery and become a drug addict. I don't know where that came from. So boom, they back from the fishing trip and Kennedy is there, because remember she said she come in after she spent a few more days with her mom and her daddy. No, he not on drugs. He just be faking like he finna take them, but he don't never take them. So they get to the house and Kennedy goes upstairs. She got an attitude. I'm like, oh, y'all know y'all love each other, just get it together. So she come in the house, they got a little back and forth and everything, and she was like, I'm finna go upstairs and get in your bed. He was like, you can have one of the guest rooms. And she was like, no, you didn't came to my mom and them house and tried to show your ass, and now you want me to sleep in the guest room. And he was like, yeah, I don't want you in my room. And she was like, you know what, fuck you, I'm going to get a hotel room. So then he was like, no, you can stay. So then he like, okay, you can stay. So she goes up to his room and guess what she find, y'all? His drugs on the table. Not you to burn my face up and you a crackhead. It's too much. That was his gift from Jessica. This too much. This is too much. Kennedy, run, honey. Run. So she like, what the fuck, this nigga doing drugs? And he was like, I didn't want you to see this. That's why I didn't want you to come up here in this room. I'm like, oh my God. and he was like, he ended up telling her like he's never done drugs in his life. He's like, I never done drugs in my life, but sometimes they just get the best of me, and I just be like, I'm just finna just end it all and do these drugs so I don't have to go to jail, have to deal with all this stuff. So many people be on me. What do y'all think about Judith and Relic's relationship? Do y'all think they gonna get it together? Relic and Judith is Relic's mother, okay? They had a very tumultuous relationship with him growing up. His father was abusive, but he loved his father. His father beat his mother, so his mother took it out on him. Judith took it out on him what his father was doing, right? So they have this very messed up relationship. He don't like her. He actually act like he hate her or whatever. And so I feel like they gonna get it together for Ja. He had those drugs to strengthen his mind and keep control of his mind. Okay, he had them drugs to strengthen his mind and keep control of his mind. But do y'all think that Relic and Judith is gonna get it together? Or are they going to get it together? Because do y'all want them to get it together? Do you feel like she deserves redemption for how she treated him growing up? You know, I think that they should get it together for Ja, because surprisingly his son has a great relationship with his mother. He loves his grandma. He loves, she said that her blue-eyed devil is a mutual underlining respect. Ja and the mom have a great relationship, and so he wants to be around his grandmother. He loves his grandmother, but his dad doesn't. So but they're not friendly. So and now her and Kennedy got beef. She had beef with Savvy too. So yeah, Judith is fucked up, but I get it. She was abused. She probably got a few screws loose, literally. So he told Kennedy that he would hit her. Kennedy told him that she would be the last one. Oh, girl, they was too much in this book. They was doing too damn much. So, Ja. So let's talk about Ja. So Kennedy is at the house, the drugs. She put the drugs up. She threw them down the drain. She like, don't you ever do this shit again. You ain't no weak nigga. Right? So that's one of the things that I loved about their relationship. Even though they kept getting on my nerves, they like bigged each other up. Like, you know, when she was slipping, he would get on her ass like, you big dog Kennedy, don't play. Don't play yourself short. You ain't no little dog, you big dog. And then like in that instance, you know, she was like, you ain't no weak nigga. Like, this not who you are. This drug stuff, this not who you are. Don't ever let me see you do this shit again. Oh no. He choke slapped her. You know what? I was thinking that like, I think he did put his hands on her. He choke slapped her on that car. It was too much going. That was volatile up in her, baby. No, I think their relationship is too far gone, and unless she is willing to take responsibility of how she treated and affected it had on her, I think she will, because I think she's getting to that point. Kennedy stayed taking care of him, I guess, girl. So, but yes, he gave her that black card and everything too. Okay, y'all, it's so much going on in this book. Okay, so she ends up coming back to his house. He got shit that he ain't telling her about. Then she got, okay, so Sonny. For some reason, Sonny was rubbing me the wrong way. Her best friend, Sonny, is introduced. It's a guy. It's introduced in this book too. Why the best friend got to be on her burner phone? Her best friend only got her burner phone number. Her best friend is her brother's old friend. You got to read the book to get it. So Sonny is introduced in here. Sonny was giving me, he was on some sneak stuff too. Ezekiel is introduced in this book, which was her ex-boyfriend, okay, whom she has determined has killed her brother. So she thinks her brother, who was killed, if you don't know, Coda, his best friend killed him, because the best friend had some secrets. She used to mess with the best friend, and she found out from Tekken in this book, which is her brother's son, that the brother knew about her and his best friend. His best friend, his right-hand man, was messing with his little sister. And she felt like since the brother had found out that she was messing with his right man, that he confronted the right-hand man and the right hand had him killed. So now she got a vengeance against her brother best friend because she thinks he's the one who had him killed. So now that's a whole nother mission that Kennedy got. It was too much. So Ezekiel is introduced in this book. That was her ex, her brother's best friend. And Sonny was introduced in this book, and Sarge was introduced in this book. Sarge and Sonny are brothers. Okay? You're not gonna get all of this unless you read the book. Sarge and Sonny are brothers. That's Kennedy's best friend and an associate of her brothers. We'll just say that. And Sarge is like spilling tea on her brother, her deceased brother, and the mutual friend that they had together. Do y'all feel like Sarge was trying to set him up for her to think that he was the one who did it? Who had the brother killed? Now that I think about that, maybe he was trying to set that up like that. Right? Oh! One of my predictions is that Ja's little sister, what's her name, y'all, is Kennedy's brother's baby. Did anybody else catch that? The stripper was Jessica. The stripper, it didn't say it in this book, y'all. This is not what it was said in the book. But that is one of my predictions in the next book. It's going to come out that that little girl is Coda's daughter. And that's her niece. And that's how they're going to get Jazz. That's how they're going to get custody of Jazz and Ja. They're going to get custody of Jazz and Ja. And that's going to be her niece. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. That's one of my predictions. Okay. So, Sarge, Sonny is introducing this book. Ezekiel is introducing this book, her ex or whatever. And she is sneaking. Okay, she's living with Relic. She know Relic is crazy. She know Relic don't leave no stone unturned. Why is she talking on a burner phone in this man's house? I just that wasn't given very smart. Well, Relic don't know. Relic don't know. I don't think Relic know everything, so he might know that that's his daughter. I think he made some valid points when he was telling Ja, like, she don't need to be around no man that's not her blood relative. I think that's just the way he thinks. If it was any little girl, I think that he would think that same way. Like, she ain't got no business being with me and you. I don't have no relation to her. Even though he knows that he wouldn't hurt her, but he just know really boogie list and this shit show dinner. Or Relic was telling people to everybody needed their ass beat at their dinner. That was too much. They was taking it too far. They were taking it too far. At that, oh, they went on a trip, y'all. I love a good boo trip. Any book that have a trip where the men and women go on vacation together, it's always a good fucking time. It's always a good time and a lot of drama. So Relic took Kennedy on vacation, which this is all a part of his scheme. Relic was Todd. This was all a scheme that Todd put together. Relic was Todd. So he took everybody on vacation. Relic know about Jazz and Jessica, but Jay might see a pic of Coda and recognize him. So Relic took everybody out of town. Of course, this had something to do with him getting indicted and him setting up for his time to go and all that. But he kind of took Kennedy on a little vacation, and her nephew came, and his brothers and their women came, and all of that. Yes, I love a good vacation scene. Yes, where they go on vacation and everybody having a good time and letting their hair down. Ain't no guns being drawn or nothing. So he took her on vacation. That was another way that he showed her that he cared about her. But I get, he said Relic's thing is the women that he's loved the most have always been the women who played him the most. So even though he loved Kennedy, and I'm putting it in quotation marks, but he don't feel like he can show it, is because every time he shows a woman that he loves her, she plays him. Is his feelings valid when it comes to her? Because I feel like she's shown him that she loves him. Right. And she was being sneaky talking on the burner phone and shit. But Ja put a stop to that, baby. So she talking on this burner phone. She's staying with Relic and Ja, the son. And she get on the phone. She sees Ezekiel. Her and Sonny went out. That's her best friend. She see her ex at a bar. He tries to kiss her, and she like, no, wait a minute, because he had a baby on her and all this stuff, right? So she got her burner phone. The ex end up calling her burner phone. She goes to the bathroom to talk to the ex on the burner phone. Why? Okay. So Ja, little sneaky ass, comes and listens at the door. Ja is Relic's son, who Kennedy loves. Ja started telling all the motherfucking business about that man trying to kiss her on the phone. The men stick together in this book. Baby, he was spilling the tea. His uncle told him to protect his daddy, and that is what he was gonna do. Okay, no matter how much he cared for Miss Kennedy, he started spilling the tea. She was on the phone talking to a man who said he was trying to give her a kiss. Oh my God. And so he told his daddy, baby, and that man in that house, baby, you only got 0.5 seconds to try to tee off on me before I just know this ain't the relationship for me, because he would turn into a completely different person when he was pissed off, and I was scared. So I know Kennedy was scared. I mean, like, really? You just turned into a whole monster because I'm talking to somebody on the phone in the bathroom. So he had to check her on that, which Ja did say that she said that she was not kissing back, and he tried to kiss her and all that. So, and then they put him in the middle of it. He was like, "You're not gonna get in trouble if you tell me the truth, or I'm not gonna do nothing to her if you tell me the truth." That's crazy. Why are you saying this to this baby? Huh? It was too much. It was too much. So that happened. They got over it. They ended up giving each other gifts that night. There was a cute scene where she had got them matching chains, or Relic already had a chain. She got it fixed, and she got Ja one. And Relic had went and got her a whole bunch of purses and stuff like that. That was real cute. They was in a relationship. I don't know why they was playing. Like, everybody could see it. A blind person could see that they was in a relationship. But of course, they steady playing games. So all that happened. I knew Kennedy wasn't scared. I think she didn't want to kill him. Oh, she wasn't scared of him. Okay. She wasn't scared. So, boom, we at the part where they staying at the house and everything. All the while, I'm thinking, that one of them is on some bullshit. I don't know which one. I thought Kennedy at some point with that burner phone and with that dude name being Sarge, I thought that she was the police. And I thought Sarge was her sergeant at the police station. That's how you know a book good, when you just start coming up with all these scenarios in your head. Because I'm like, oh, maybe Kennedy working with the feds, Sarge is her sergeant, Sonny not really her best friend, but somebody she worked with on the police force. I had all kind of stuff going on in my head. I'm thinking, you know, that or whatever. And so, Relic, all the while he telling everybody what he got going on. What did y'all think about how Los was feeling when he took him to the cabin to show him where the money was at? So he's setting everybody up in his family to know where all his plays is at, so that when he get indicted, everybody will be good, right? He got money in offshore accounts overseas, in the back of the closet, in the extra safe behind the refrigerator. He had his stuff sold up. Like I said, if I'm getting indicted, I need to be on the shit he was on. You didn't think that deep into it? Oh, do you think that Relic should have put him on once his business started to grow? Because all he had was his his tattoo shop. Even though they started together, I don't think so. I don't think that Relic was in the wrong. Like, you wanted out of the business, you got out. What was I supposed to do? Right? But I liked how they all looked out for each other. It was all love. It was all family. If you read the prequels, Los was the brains. Oh, he was the brains. He wasn't too much of the brains, because after he got out, Relic took the business. You see, he got all his money and all that. So, but yeah. So I had to go back and reread the part with the man and the trucking company and all that. That had threw me off for a little bit, but I got it after I read it the second time. So Relic was smart. He was smart. He fine. He got big dick energy. He got a big dick. And I don't know, y'all. He do be choking people and stuff. And he don't like his mama. He got some flaws with him. But can you deal with his flaws and still fuck with him the way that Kennedy did, even though you don't know if he gonna screw you over in the back, on the back end, right? And he burnt her face up. So, okay, do y'all think that she can let that slide, that he was the one who ordered the burning of the salon? He didn't even burn the salon down. It was somebody else. Ordered the burning of the salon. Do you think she'll ever be able to get over that? Right? Then throughout the whole book, I'm thinking Kennedy pregnant, because she keep throwing up. Whole time she just got a weak stomach because she had an IUD. I'm thinking she finna be saying she pregnant because he keep busting all up in her and daddy this and daddy that. And I'm like, yeah, he about to be a daddy. He about to get her pregnant. Now, he said he didn't rape nobody. He said he never had to rape nobody. He said he wasn't raping nobody. He said Moochie was confused. That was a wild story. That was a wild story. Like, I don't even know how Titan was able to hear that. I'm going to let it slide. She just wanted him to be honest. Yes. Yes. So, that was... I don't think he was raping people. I think he was grimy. And he did some grimy shit. Why does Shabu hate Kennedy? It reminded me of how Relic hated Sadie. Because he thinks she's sneaky. And Shabu is thinking like how they've been raised and taught, like, you don't leave no loose ends. And Kennedy is a loose end. Because what reason does she have not to turn on them, knowing what they did to her? That's why he don't like Kennedy. Because he thinks she a loose end. And he think Relic is tripping by not taking care of her because she's a loose end. And he feel like he got to take care of her. Oh my gosh, y'all, at the end of the book, I thought that he had blew her car up. When the boom boom started happening, I was like, oh my God, what about Jessica? Didn't he rape her? He did. Oh yeah, you know what, you right, Andrea. He said he did. He forced himself on her. But I think that's the only person. Which, I mean, one person too many. I don't know. Every time he was have her call him daddy, I forgot all the stuff he had did. Lord forgive me. Anyway, he more like very rough. Yes, honey. So anyway, so they playing around, they doing all this and that. Okay, so let's talk about this contract that they signed. So we all know that Relic is finna get ready to get indicted. He tying up all his loose ends. Kennedy loves Ja. Ja loves Kennedy. He feels like she a part of their family, all this and that. It was so crazy. I felt like when they got that lawyer involved, he gave her $500,000 to have his baby. What did y'all think about that? It was supposed to have been $1 million, but she waited a week later. So he was like, you only getting $500,000 or whatever because you waited a week. Do y'all think she should have did that? Got her IUD removed, even though I thought she was pregnant already. So yes, he gave her custody of Ja, the son. He bought her a house for them. He bought a house for them. He gave her $500,000 to remove her IUD. What else was in that contract? Ja get everything when he get older. She knew it wasn't gonna save her. They're gonna get at that lawyer. Oh, you think so? They liked the lawyer. The lawyer wasn't a bad guy, was he? So, like, he getting all his stuff set up. So, he did all that. So, Kennedy is set. Okay? She got her money. She did all this stuff. I think she is pregnant. That's why she left at the end. I think she pregnant, too. I think the pregnancy is what's going to bring them back together. Maybe. No, Ja going to bring them back together. And she got to go back and get her brother, baby. Jazz. So, anyway, so all that happened. But again, just like in Relic book, in the back of his mind, he's thinking that she's going to do something to him. In the back of her mind, she feeling like he got some shit in the game too, right? So at the very end of the book, Kennedy ends up checkmating, because there's a lot of talk about chess in this book, and the queen and the king, and Kennedy is teaching Ja how to play chess, because that's just like the game of life, right? Oh, they did get married. They did get married. That's what oh yeah, she wrote this book, y'all. That was good. It was a lot of little stuff going on. Yes, Relic and Kennedy got married. So that's his wife. And that's what he told Shabu. He was like, that's my wife. But anyway, Kennedy ended up pulling a checkmate. And she ended up saying, I think she gonna kill her baby mother. Yes, I think so too. Oh, and they got Ronnie, if y'all remember from Savvy's book. That was her friend, cousin, or something like that. Wife can't testify against husband. Okay, so they got married, and Kennedy was like, I know what you did to me. I know you messed up my face, and for that I can't be with you. And she ended up leaving, y'all, and he was finna tear her ass up, and she caught that baby. She was like, Ja, wake up. And the baby was like, where you going? She like, I got some stuff to handle. Do you want to go with me? I'm glad she wasn't trying to play him dirty. Like, she didn't really love him. And Relic was like, he ain't going no motherfucking where. So she ended up leaving. She said she got the IUD out, right? But she got on birth control. So that's how she played that. She was like, and I'm not pregnant and won't be. Oh, he was like, if you pregnant, you better not kill my fucking baby. These books be having us messed up, y'all. And she was like, I ain't pregnant because I'm on birth control. And he was like, what the fuck? She was like, you said I had to get my IUD out. You didn't say I can get on birth control. Oh my God. Kennedy, girl, don't play dumb. Don't piss me off. So Relic, he was seething, but the son was there or whatever, so she got away because the son was there, so she left. So then all you heard is the boom boom booms on the door, right? Shabu them was there. How did they end up there? Because they was there, everybody was there. I don't know what I missed right there, but boom boom booms on the door. And I thought, because him and Shabu was arguing, and he was like, he loved her, and remember when you wouldn't let me do nothing to Savvy because you loved her, I feel the same way about Kennedy, da 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 da. And he was like, that was different. And then you heard a boom boom boom. I thought that Shabu had blew her car up. I thought that he had blew her car up, but it was really the feds coming to indict. Oh yeah, and Kennedy waited because they knew that that night was gonna be the indictment night, and that's why everybody was at his house. But it was the feds, and so the whole book, Ja had been calling Relic. Okay, this the son. This one right here was a herder. You heard me, y'all? This one was a herder. So the feds come in, they locking everybody up. They done lock Savvy up. They got her in cuffs. They got Relic in cuffs. All that. Why does this baby say, "Don't take my daddy"? That's the type of stuff I be in the bed kicking and screaming and punching my arms like, "Don't take his daddy, no." So he did the mock party, the mock when yes, he said, "Don't take my daddy." And that was the end, y'all. When y'all was screaming that, "I know, don't take my dad." Yeah, he said, "Don't take my dad." And so that was the end, and now we gotta wait and see what's gonna happen. So my predictions are, what are y'all predictions for the next book? My predictions are Jazz is Coda's daughter, and in turn Kennedy's niece, and so they're going to end up getting Jazz. I love the relationship that they all have with Ja and Jazz, and that her and the grandmother kind of got along. She did. This book was real good. It was a lot going on, but it was good. Like, I felt the love. I felt the anger. It was a lot of twists and turns. It was some mystery, some crime. Oh, and come to find out, I didn't talk about this either. It wasn't Kennedy's ex who set her brother up to be killed. It was the ex's associate or his friend, Sarge, the one who I thought was the sergeant. The grandma got Coda money. Ooh, Celeste! The grandma got Coda money. So it ended up being Sarge, because Sarge and Coda was messing with the same girl, and he thought that the girl, the stripper that we don't know about right now, was pregnant by him. Well, when Coda said that, because Coda was like, "I don't know if that's my baby, you a stripper bitch." Okay, so when he was like, "I don't know if that's my baby," she ran to Sarge, which is who she was messing with too. Well, then when Coda was like, "When she have the baby, I'll take care of the baby if it's mine," and she was finna go back to Coda. That's why he set Coda up to get killed, because Sarge, he was in love with the girl who I'm assuming is Jessica. Who I'm a son, and they ended up killing Sarge, which is Sonny's brother. So what's gonna happen with that? Because Sonny is Kennedy's best friend. Kennedy is pregnant. Kennedy is going to have a niece. I think Sarge have the money. Oh, you think Sarge have the money? Okay. It was another prediction that I had. Jazz. Oh, I had a prediction about who set the brother up, but it ended up being Sarge. So that I thought it was the best friend too. But yeah, Jazz is the niece. I think Kennedy is pregnant. Jazz is the niece. Coda also denies charge partnership. Yeah. So did. So yes, this was a good book. And this was a good discussion, y'all. I know do y'all think they gonna end up together? How could they not? But do y'all want them to be together? Do y'all think their relationship is too volatile for them to ever make it? Do y'all think they will ever... Oh, is Relic gonna go to jail? No. He is gonna go to jail, but not for long. Yeah, Celeste, I think that too. But yeah, how do you come back from all the stuff that they have done to each other? From the fire to Kennedy being sneaky and, running off, with the $500,000 and all that. Like, how do they come back from all that and live happily ever after? It feels, but they will end up together. Relic will get out on a technicality. Yeah. So y'all, I guess we gonna be talking about this again in a couple months. But yes, this book was good. If you have not read Respectfully Kennedy, you need to read it. Because do y'all feel like you have to read Savvy and Shabu and Treasure? Do you think you got to read all them books to be able to read Relic and Kennedy? Relic will get on it. I kind of think you do if you want the full experience. Plus, Savvy book was good. That series was good too. That series was good too. Like, I loved it. You think that was planned? Yeah, Relic is smart. Relic done set all this shit up. Like I said, it's a scheme that Ty created. He didn't get all this together. You burned me up, but want us to be together. No, oh, Debbie, these was the only books you read? Okay, cool. They say y'all ain't gotta read the other books unless you want to. But they was good to me. I love that series too. But let's get the family dynamic. So I'm finishing up the 19th hole, and we may talk about that. That one is by Evelyn Latrice. All I know is she's just dropping gem after gem after gem after gem in this book. Like, she's just dropping all gems, stuff that speaks to my heart and my spirit. So we may talk about that next week, depending on how I get through it, if I get through it, all that good stuff. But yes, this was really good. This was good. This is a good book. I'm looking forward to the third one. Am I hoping it to be the last one? I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the third book. And I love this. I know some people like to not to wait until the end to read all of the books. But like with this book, Relic's book was really good. So I was able to go back and read Relic again. It had been so long. It was like the first time that I read it. And so I feel like also when the third book come out, I'll be able to go back and read Kennedy's book. And, you know, it'll be like reading it the first time. So I kind of like that aspect of it rather than waiting to the end. And it's, girl, yes. But I love them. I love their family. And everybody trying to make us bilingual with all this patois and all that. All that stuff or whatever. So that was cool. But yes. If you've been in a reading slump, this will get you out. I ain't gonna say it might or it may. It will get you out your reading slump. If you're in a reading slump, read this. So I may see y'all next week. I may not. Remember, I'm not forcing it. I love y'all. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. And it's the Black Girl Book Club Podcast. The Black Girl Book Club Podcast. Hey, bye y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being on here tonight. See y'all soon. Bye bye.